So our first special guest is very special indeed, and we definitely wouldn't be here without her. I would like to welcome, in one moment, I would like to welcome from behind the shield, Ayah! So welcome, Ayah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Liza. I'm happy to be here.
So today we're doing something really special. Usually, you're the person being interviewed, but we thought it would be fun to have you interview.
I love that idea.
Original Bitsters. So, should we just dive right in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So we have the hat of bit queries. So we're gonna have two people come on at a time, and Ayah's gonna ask them a question from this hat. And they're gonna pick. So first up, we have Paul and Jordy. Welcome.
The original OGs.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
And the sound check in the background. So Ayah, would you like to do the honors and take the first question?
Hello, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Question for both of them or for one of them?
Well, you can direct as you please.
Okay, I'll start with Paul. Paul, did you ever have a moment when you thought, oh no, what if this doesn't work? Oh my God, I'm afraid of the answer.
Probably regularly, but we always make it work.
Have they decreased?
But yeah, probably they've decreased. But I think if you aren't asking that question, you're probably not doing something challenging or difficult enough.
But in the early days of littleBITs, were you asking yourself this every day?
No, not every day, but regularly. Regularly, but that's good. That's when you know you're on the right track.
This is a secret. I was asking myself this every day. Now it's much less frequent, but it still happens. Okay, great. Question number 2. For Jordy. Jordy, what was your takeout of choice in the first office?
My takeout of choice from the very first office when we moved.
Where was the first office?
Yeah, give us a mental picture of the first office.
Yeah, the first office was basically what you see now in the frame of the thing. Imagine that we are 4 people.
Exactly.
Basically, there's a desk. The takeout. What's the takeout? That's
Arbor?
Arbor. Yeah.
He's getting help by the audience.
I think it was all of our favorites.
Arbor.
Remember, Arbor was like that fusion place. Where we
oh,
used to get,
I mean, the
noodles and
takeout.
stuff.
The takeout.
Oh, Arbor,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like Thai or...
Yeah,
There was all kinds of things.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like
close
Thai
by.
and sushi and all these things.
Yeah, I think that was our favorite takeout. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff around there. I think
Not
it was,
really.
not as good as not.
I think
not
it
as
improved
good as
right
Union Square.
when we left.
Not as good as Union Square.
We started with low standards in the West Village. The food wasn't great around us. Then we went to Union Square. It was amazing, and you could get anything you wanted and commute from everywhere you wanted. And now we're back in Chelsea, where we went back to original.
Yeah, maybe Arbor was our favorite. Yeah.
Arbor Bistro.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
All right, last one.
Riveting question. I'm very happy all of you stayed up in your various cities. Was there a pivot in the company strategy that people don't know about? Ooh. To Paul.
I probably nothing that people don't know about, I guess. I think, we've been focusing more on education in the last year or so, but that's probably apparent to everyone with the STEAM student set and the other products we've been working on.
Well, some of the adult focus in the early days.
Yeah, I guess, we've done some prototyping that's never gotten out to the public that maybe was going in one direction or another direction, but what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Never like modular kitchen appliances.
Well, the coffee
That's a
maker.
good idea.
The coffee maker was where it all started.
That's a good idea. The original, the very, very early prototype of littleBIts was a video called littleBIts Coffee Maker, which is on Vimeo if anybody wants to watch it. It's with Jeff, one of the early interns at Smart Design when I used to working there, and it basically creates an interaction of a coffee maker using littleBIts. And so for a brief moment, kitchen appliances were on the table, but I'm very happy we never went through with it. That was a very good change.
Cool. Nice. And I guess we should introduce you guys a little bit more formally. Paul, you are the
Director of R&D.
And Jordi.
Have industrial design.
Paul was the very first person to jump on the boat of littleBIts. He was an intern at IBM when I was a fellow and worked on the very, very, very early versions where he was unpaid and working in a big office that was probably now not good to mention. Whatever, it was what it was. And he jumped on board and came into littleBIts before anybody else did and took a chance. And we absolutely would not be where we are without him. And Jordi was the second person to join the team, also came in, had changed his life from a more sort of robust life in industrial design and product design, and decided that he was tired of product design in the traditional way and wanted to make tools to empower other people to do design. And so we would not be where we are without both of these guys. So thank you.
Yes. Awesome. And now we have Joe and Crystal. So Joe is our creative director, and Crystal is our
director of product design and product management.
Very long title. Crystal is another interesting story. Joined littleBIts as an intern, where she did intern stuff. She did office management. She basically helped us outfit the entire office. She designed early kits, projects, did workshops, wrote curriculum, and has been helping us push further the experiences of kits, and now leads the whole team of product design and product management that's responsible for all the kit experiences and responsible for getting them done in time, and is an incredible powerhouse that we're super proud to have. And Joe is our fearless and extremely talented creative director who is the reason behind the brand that you see today. And I remember very early on, Joe and I had a slightly tense conversation when he wanted to redesign the logo, which I was very attached to. And I was really nervous. Oh yeah, that logo. I was very attached to it. I now think it was very much in need of a change, but he was fearless and convinced me, and I'm so happy that we did, because we love our brand now. Hi guys.
Hello.
So
Hi.
maybe we'll go off script. You can either choose a question or ask a question.
Okay.
Let's keep it interesting.
Joe, what convinced you to move to littleBIts?
Oh,
Because I remember that conversation.
That's easy. Jordi and the people at the East 11, the office, and the people at the East 11 office. Easy, easy. Yeah, it was super nice.
The tacos?
It was. So this was the second office that littleBIts had after the collab, which was on East 11th Street, just off the Union Square. It was the 5th floor.
yeah.
The elevator opened right into the space. It was this awesome old, like, really, really old hardwood floor, and then all the columns were like painted with the littleBIts colors, and we had the design shop in there, and then all just open space with everyone working there, which was only like 20 people at the time, and it was just so like warm and welcoming, and it was kind of immediate actually, because I actually came super interested in the branding job and the rebranding job, but not interested in a full-time job, and then that was like sort of the clincher.
You lured Joe.
We had strategy sessions to think about what are we
How
going to
could
do
we
to be
get-
able to
how
bring
could
Joe.
we get Joe?
I remember that very
Yeah.
well. And by the way, the cute, cozy office that he's mentioning, by the time we basically became like 45 people, everybody wanted to kill each other in there. So it wasn't charming anymore.
It was an overpopulated,
Yeah,
like,
we were over-
gerbil experiment.
Exactly. But then we moved to this beautiful office, which we're very happy about. All right.
And for everybody out there, don't worry. We're going to take your questions very soon.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm going to give you a backup one because this one may be hard.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pull a backup in case. What was an invention that made you realize you were onto something big, Crystal?
Oh, interesting. One that I made or saw? Doesn't
Open.
matter. One of the early ones I remember, and it actually has to do with Jeff, who you guys will meet in a second, was when Hurricane Sandy happened. This was 2012. When was that? 2012.
2012, yeah.
And first of all, our office lost power. I lived in Lower Manhattan, so I didn't have power, and we still worked every single day.
That's
and
true.
like found co-working spaces and like called over to.
Because we had to make Christmas.
We had to keep going. Yeah, Christmas had to happen.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time we decided to run a workshop around how electricity gets to everyone's houses and like teach people about how that entire grid system works. So I remember I had to set up a workshop with kids recreating different pieces of Manhattan and having them turn on and off with logic bits based on the substation breaking. And I mentioned Jeff because I got a hard hat from like a construction worker and was like, Jeff, you work at Con Ed, like pretend to be a Con Edison person. But I actually remember in that workshop how initially I thought it was going to be really boring. And like I planned the whole workshop and we brought kids in, but they were really engaged and we acted out this whole thing that like I was a newswoman and Jeff was from Con Ed. And we pretended that like blocks were going down and kids created their own blocks and put them on this map of Manhattan. And I just remember thinking like, wow, we made this really kind of boring subject of how electricity gets places like pretty interesting. And all these kids are really engaged and like part of this conversation. And I think while it wasn't the sexiest invention, it was definitely a moment for me because I remember thinking like, wow, we actually took this moment of Hurricane Sandy and like did something great with it.
By the way, the content of that workshop are on our website. The workshop was called Why Did the Lights Go Out?
Yeah.
So you guys should check it out.
Maybe somebody can post a link there if you know where it is. Wink, wink. Should we do one more?
One more. This one, I want to keep for someone else. I have an agenda. I think both of you should answer this one. What is so unique about the littleBITs community? And it's not staged. See?
Ooh. Do you want to go first? I have like answers like
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that question, but what's so exciting about it is like what's so great about it is their excitement. I think like some of always on so we have a Slack channel that people always post just like our most exciting images and videos and projects from the community, and like some of the most recent ones, just like the pure excitement from these kids and people. It's just like it's amazing.
Kids are people
fun.
too.
Yeah.
You guys don't realize the superstars you are in this office.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we know a lot of the top community member names. Like we know all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, absolutely. I would say I don't know if this is unique, but one thing in product design at least, whenever we're making new kits, our first reaction before like venturing off and like designing new projects is always to look at the community page first, because most likely the idea we want to do or the experience we want has already been done, has already been invented by the community. So, I mean, I think in that sense, all of you guys are product designers, basically, and we're just looking for inspiration of what to put into kits. So I think whether you know it or not, we're watching.
I have one actually.
Very, like, we know.
That sounded scary. That sounded scary. She didn't mean it like that. She's very nice.
No, in a good way. Like every day we look at the community page. We look at it
like
for
a big brother
inspiration.
kind of way. No, I'm kidding. No.
We look at it for inspiration. So.
No, that's so true. We're very, very inspired by our community, especially the super bitsters. And for me, my favorite thing about the community is that it's so diverse. We see people of all ages, of all genders, of all nationalities. People are collaborating together across different languages and countries, whether they're coming from art or technology or neither. There's just such a beautiful, merger of people from all over the world, which is really inspiring. All right. Thank you, Joe and Crystal.
All right, and now it's time for our final dynamic duo. Drum roll, please.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and they're bringing it.
Oh, kind of an entrance.
So here we have Jeff, who is our. Yeah. Rumi has to make an entrance. Very good. With the chicken.
With a chicken.
Rumi, I'm Jeff. So this is Jeff, who is our Director of Engineering. And Harumi, who is our Senior Director of Brand and Experience.
Oh, longer title. That's true.
Long.
Yeah. Longer title.
Welcome. Thanks for having us.
Well said, yes.
So Jeff heads up the engineering team that is responsible for all the magic in the bits. And many of you may look at the bits and think that they're simple, but if you imagine creating every new bit, you have to think about how it's going to fit with every single other bit in the system and anticipate every other testing challenge that we're going to have to do in the factory and think about all the different circuits that we will put together and the current load and the configurations and all of that. It's this guy right here. So like, props to this guy. And Harumi has won the cake for the most roles in the company, has charted the most frontiers in the company, from illustration to party planning, actually multiple times, to web design, to marketing, to now doing more brand and experience and digital and all things in between. And she's one of our superstars and brand builders too.
Omnibitster.
Omnibitster.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to put my agenda. All right.
Inappropriate.
All right. Oh, Jeff, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I think I would want to be either Jim Williams, RIP, who's a former engineer of linear technology, that was wrote application notes for linear technology, famous analog engineer, uber nerd, or Jimmy Page from Let's
Told you.
guitar player.
Very. Oh, and I should have
band,
mentioned that Jeff is also a musician, and pretty much all the engineering team are musicians also. Which is, see, this is how you got the two answers right here. Good answer.
Good spectrum. Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, here. Pretend. Harumi, what is a personal project you are currently working on?
Oh, dear. Well, I'm actually coincidentally working with Crystal on a side project. It's called Wild Grid, and we are working on devices that are capturing untapped power with our everyday actions. Jeff is actually also helping us, so here we are.
And where can we see this this project?
If you're in town in New York City this weekend, we will be at World Maker Fair demoing.
Check it out.
Thanks.
More? All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for both of them, what is the one thing that you learned that you would like to share with other startups? One thing.
Distill it down.
You know, it's that article that somebody shared. I forget who. It was called "Giving Away Your Legos," and the whole premise of this article. Just Google it; it's great. The whole premise of it is every few months somebody comes in or somebody leaves, and your role just changes. And so you have to be okay with giving away your Legos and building something completely brand new. And I feel like that was a really refreshing way of looking at it.
That was a really good article. I highly recommend it too.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Hold on, the chicken has to turn. It points to the person who's answering.
Oh yeah.
I guess I would say that you have to do something, so don't analyze it for too long and move forward with the next thing that you can do. And if you survive the day, then you'll get to the next day and repeat that. And before you know it, you'll have enough time to plan.
Nice.
Said like a true business.
Really good advice.
I have to ask a question. No, okay. for a future community call. More?
Well, yeah, let's do one more, and then I'm gonna put the call out to community. You guys start populating that chat with questions, and we're gonna take some of your questions in a sec. We'll do one more with me and Jeff.
What would you, for either or both, what would you tell yourselves that first year you started? Get out!
Stop ordering
Get out!
tacos. It's gonna get ya. It's gonna get ya.
Tacos are gonna get. That's what you
The
said.
tacos got me.
Oh, they got you. What would I tell myself the first year? I already said it. Like survive. Like make it to tomorrow. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
By the way, Jeff.
That's terrible. That's terrible. But I don't know.
Jeff, are you happy?
I am. Yeah.
No, he's very happy. This is just.
No, the first year was a lot of work, and so we were scrambling, and so you just gotta tell yourself like, look, it's good, it's totally gonna work out.
We love Jeff, and he loves us. Hopefully, that's what we'll get.
Sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so let's see. Let's bring everybody back in to the frame. I think we can fit everybody. Yeah, we'll make it great. And then let's see if we have any questions from the community. Let's see, what do we have?
Oh, come in, guys.
Yeah.
Here, you can come closer here. While this is loading, I just would like to say a huge thanks to all the team of OGs, original Bitsters that are behind me, because I have no single doubt in my mind that we absolutely could not have been where we are without them. And as you've heard, the roads of a startup over 5 years has lots of ups and downs. And this is a group that is so dedicated and passionate and incredibly talented, and has learned and tried and explored so many things with such incredible poise and attitude, and they're like, I would never even be able to think about what I could have done without you guys.
Okay, yay. We have question number 1. Let me bring this back up again. You guys are the best. Ayah, what does the future of littleBITs look like, have in store?
The future of littleBITs is basically more focused on getting the word out. We've spent the last few years really trying to see if there's interest in what we're doing. Are people really into inventing? If you make it easier, will people get excited about design and invention and creation if you take it out of the hands of the experts and put it in the hands of people all over the world of various shapes and sizes and ages? And the world has told us back that absolutely that's 100% true. And so the next years is just going to be about going out to the rest of the world outside of just a small maker community and getting to every home, every school, and really be able to empower teachers and parents everywhere to inspire kids around them to become inventors or unleash their inventor.
Nice. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. So this is for the team. Do you have any plans to align lesson plans to the Common Core curriculum? Many educators I work with ask that question.
Ooh, Liza, I think that's a good question for you.
Yeah. I can also answer it if you want.
Go for it.
So we are really dedicated to making sure educators get the resources we need. Right now, we're focused on NGSS, and we are looking into what it would take to align to Common Core. And I would say to be honest, we have so many great educators making content that aligns based on what their class needs. So we're actually looking to you guys for inspiration as well for the best way to do that. But really diving into curriculum is something we just started to do this year. So we're still deciding how far we're gonna go.
Yeah, but we want to hear more from you.
Oh yeah,
and
we
what you
want to
want.
hear more from you.
So let us know. Let's see, what else do we have? So Let's see. Which question do we want to pick?
Chicken needs a little.
Ooh, here we go. Mary, from Mary G. Any plans to make the bleep drum bit or have any more add-ons for synth?
I'm gonna turn this too far.
Yes, yeah. We're big fans of the bleep drum. It's super fun. We know everybody's gonna love it. We're just waiting for the opportunity to get it out to all you fine folks in the best possible way. So hang in there. I know it's been a little while since we first mentioned it, but hopefully it'll be coming to a kit near you in not too long. And when it does, it'll be super fun.
Yeah.
One thing that we learned over the years is that when we have a new bit, especially one of the more complex bits, it's best experience inside a whole kit experience so that you're not just holding a bit and not knowing what to do with it. And so that's part of what we're trying to do is think about what is the larger experience that the bleep drum would really make come to life, because it's a super, super special and fun bit and has a lot of potential outside just being fun.
And if there are other things that people are interested in doing with the synth kit, we're all ears. Let us know. We rely on feedback from all you good folks to help kind of steer us in different directions. So if you've got some synthy musical experiences that you're dreaming of, let us know about it, and we'll keep that in mind.
Where should they share? In the forums?
So if you have ideas for synth, you can, or any ideas or any questions, shoot an email to community@littlebits.cc and we'll make sure it gets to the right place. Okay, next question. Let's go with, have you considered partnerships with other companies to make modules to make it easier to interface with other products, such as WowWee robotic toys or Lego Mindstorms?
I don't know WowWee, do you?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually interface with Lego, not Lego Mindstorms, but Lego. We have a brick adapter that interfaces. We are always looking for collaborations with other products and companies, but the same thing that and actually the bleep drum is one of those collaborations, but the same idea applies, that we're looking for more of a larger kit experience because people really love being able to invent around the theme as opposed to just have individual building blocks. And so the answer is yes. Oh my God.
Chicken's going rogue. The chicken's going rogue. Okay,
Never
so
trust the chicken.
we have a question from Vedant.
Oh my God, Vedant! We love you, Vedant. Hi, Vedant.
He wants to know if we're making a camera bit. Good question.
Roadmap?
Are you?
It's an interesting idea. We love the idea. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We can't share all the great idea. We can't share all our plans. Otherwise, how will you be surprised?
Some things have to stay in the box.
It's in the box.
Break open the box.
And if you have ideas of what you do with the camera bit, let us know.
Yes. Let's see. We'll take a couple more questions, so keep them coming in the chat. Let's go with, what is your favorite add-on pack for the STEAM student kit?
Oh,
Crystal?
There's a balloon right here. There are a lot of things that you could add. I actually like, I was talking about brick adapters earlier. Adding Lego is a really, really cool addition to STEAM student set. The synth kit is an interesting one too, because there's a lot of information in that kit about waves and optics and the way that sound works. So that's a cool addition. I would say my favorite one might be, it's not always the most useful in classrooms, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that we have a wireless boost it where you can make any of the inventions in the STEAM student set wirelessly controlled. Yeah, there's a lot. There's also a logic boost it if you want to get into gates. It's endless.
Okay, we'll take
I think the wireless too.
I think wireless is good. Wireless is really magical.
But it's hard in a classroom
It's tough,
because
yeah.
because everybody starts, like, all the channels compete with each other, but it's so fun.
Right.
It's really
Hard or a teachable moment.
Mm.
Intersection of
True that.
Let's see. We'll go with a lot of questions about education. Whoa, just got a bunch more. Okay, here's the. Well, maybe we'll leave with this one because I think it goes into the future a little bit. This is from Tracy H. Can we expect to see a range of bit sizes to accommodate for different size projects like wearables and art?
medium bits,
Later.
smaller bits.
Jordi?
Industrial design.
Also, yeah, I would say like let us know what kind of applications. I think the same thing. I think we're all ears and
Claws.
So let us know what kind of wearable applications would you like to see, and what kind of setting, what kind of context in wearables in education, maybe wearables in what kind of prototyping context.
We do a lot of different kinds of exploration and research, and we're always
We're
thinking about what else we could bring to you good folks.
Good folks.
But it's just a question of how and when and what sort of types of interactions are we trying to support. So yeah, we're always interested to hearing about it, and
the more we know, the better.
By the way, we're not trying to be secretive, just so everybody knows. It's just because one of the things that helps us decide what to do next is what people are asking for, and what people are going to use them for. So because there are infinite amount of ideas of bits that we can make. Too many ideas of bits and kits and different fields that we could get into. And so we filter just by thinking about what are the things that people want the most, that are missing the most, that feel like will bring the most opportunity, particularly towards education. So that's why feedback is great.
Yeah. Okay, I lied. I have one more question. I think it's a good one, and I'm gonna. It's a little hard, but this is like if any team could handle it.
If any team can handle it.
I mean, dream team. So, Gino C. Describe the most skeptical end user you've ever met, and how did you convince that person to dive into littleBIts?
Oh my God, I know exactly who that is.
Wait, you want to go first?
In the very early years of littleBIts, in the first year, it still happens now, but in the first year it happened a lot. The first couple of years when we were still building up the library, so we still only had basically buttons and switches and lights, and then we would add one sensor, and we would add another, one logic gate, etc. And so the number of bits we had was very limited. We would show up to Maker Faire or other places to show off the product, and there's always this archetype of a character, usually an engineer, usually a male, that would come hang out at our booth. I didn't even like that. Who would come hang out at our booth and point out all the reasons that we were flawed as an engineering product, and this wasn't real engineering. And anyway, it's very simple to do. And anyway, anybody could do it out of Radio Shack parts. And anyway, this is supposed to cost 1/10 what it's costing now. And by the way, the colors don't work. And by the way, the system makes no sense. And it was always this process to, I would say, listen and nod and be grateful for the feedback, and then in our heads we would say, just wait and see, and then the world showed them. So
I said I was sorry for that.
It wasn't Jeff. Anybody else?
I guess it's kind of similarly, and I think maybe like the other designers will sympathize, is that I actually remember talking to people like that at Maker Faire too, like being like super skeptical and like, oh, this doesn't really teach kids engineering, and like this isn't really a tool to understand electronics. I think for me, I was like, no, but like what's wrong with that? Like you could still invent something, and I felt like I knew nothing about electronics at all before joining the company, and now I feel like I can like prototype and build stuff, but I'm not an engineer. I don't really understand like complex electronics, and it doesn't matter. Like that part doesn't matter as much. It's the empowerment and the ability to build and invent anything that matters. So I think people get hung up on the technical side when it's really more about prototyping side. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more about the process than
Yeah.
than the actual
Accuracy, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, you're nodding. Do you have something?
I had one friend was always just, I think, would kind of smile and nod whenever talking about littleBITs until the thing that did it for them was power button, MP3 player, and a speaker, and just playing some music, and then they were like, "That's amazing." And that was it for them.
That's a super fun invention, by the way. Just old, just like DIY speaker for emergency purposes, emergency parties.
Sound is really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You guys have anything else you want to like just say or share or reflect
Thanks,
on?
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks.
Guys, group hug.
Yes,
Group hug.
Oh gosh. Oh, we're gonna poke somebody's eyes out.
What was your sound?
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3.
We don't know.
That's
That's
how you say
our exit music
Just
for you guys.
Extra thanks to Ayah.
Yeah, huge thanks to Ayah, all of you
And to
guys.
Liza.
Joe, Harashni, Jordy, Paul, and Crystal, you guys are amazing. And one more other thing, if you want to come see Ayah in person, she is going to be speaking at Maker Faire on Sunday.
Where it all started.
Sunday, October 2nd at 11 a.m. on the main stage.
Ooh.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye.